What's going on, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of SportsNerdWeb Weekly. We've got some interesting news to get into this week. First off, it's some not so great news related to Resident Evil 7's next DLC. Not a Hero has reportedly been delayed. Capcom has announced that Resident Evil 7's Not a Hero expansion, which stars a fan favorite character, has been delayed. The DLC was originally meant to launch this spring, but will now come at a later, unconfirmed date. In an official video, game director Koshi Nakanishi explained that the reason for the delay is so the team can improve the free add-on to live up to the positive reception the base game received. Quote, in light of the incredible reception of Resident Evil 7, we concluded that this DLC was not good enough to meet those high expectations, end quote, he said. Producer Masachika Kawada added, our aim is for this content to match the high quality of the main game, so we need more development time in order to achieve that goal, end quote. Capcom goes on to reassure fans that Not a Hero will still be released for free as previously promised, while also teasing a further piece of DLC that is currently in the works. You can take a look at the video, which is in Japanese but contains English subtitles on GameSpot.com. So yeah, it definitely sucks to hear that it's been delayed. I haven't heard much about this DLC, so it's really interesting to me how it says that it stars a fan favorite character. I mean, so that can be, obviously it's somebody that is from the previous Resident Evils. I don't think it's obviously not going to have anything to do with the one from the main character in the base game of Resident Evil 7, which I haven't finished Resident Evil 7 yet. So I obviously need to get that wrapped up before I, start messing around with the DLCs and stuff like that. It's interesting also to note that they, in this announcement, they're announcing that this DLC is going to be delayed, but then they also mention how yet another DLC is actually in the works. So it looks like that we're pretty much gonna have to play the whole wait and see game because all they announced was a delay. And as it said in this article on GameSpot, that there hasn't been any mention yet of a release date. It was supposed to be coming out this spring. But it is also good news to hear that they want the game to live up to the expectations that the base game established. Resident Evil 7, has been universally praised for rejuvenating the franchise. The series has been pretty stale the last couple installments, particularly with Resident Evil 6. So a change was much needed in the Resident Evil franchise, and so far from what I played of Resident Evil 7, I've played a lot of Resident Evil 7. I'm probably getting near the end, so I still just need to get it finished. But I think they did a phenomenal job with Resident Evil 7, so I also can't wait for this expansion as well. So just stay tuned to Sports Nerd Web, and when there's any information on when this when it's called Not a Hero, the DLC is called Not a Hero. So pay attention or stay tuned to Sports Nerd Web, and as soon as we get any kind of release date or anything like that, I'll be sure to have it on a video. Up next, Outlast 2. There's been reviews for Outlast 2 popping up on GameSpot and IGN and stuff like that. The original Outlast became somewhat of a cult hit when it was released in 2013. Launching first on PC before later coming to PS4 and Xbox One, Outlast earned a 7 out of 10 in GameSpot's review, with critic Leif Johnson saying, "You'll be frequently driven to turn the lights on and calm your fears." Now, me personally, I haven't played the first Outlast. I actually have it downloaded on my Xbox. I just haven't played it. It was actually one of the Xbox free games with gold a couple months back, and I downloaded it back then, but I just haven't gotten around to play it yet, which I am gonna have to play it soon. But it says here, but does the sequel live up to the expectations set by that promising first title? We were already scared by the Outlast 2 demo, and now critic Scott Butterworth has played the full game. He says, quote, "The campaign is scary from start to finish, with expertly crafted atmosphere and sound design, although the gameplay starts to wear thin towards the end." End quote. It looks like just to kind of scroll to the end, obviously I'm not going to sit here and read the whole review, but it looks like GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. They say, quote, "Think of it as a ride through a really amazing haunted house. You don't have a ton of control, and sometimes the ride breaks down for a moment or two, but it's basically guaranteed to leave you scared out of your mind." IGN gave it an 8.3 out of 10, saying Outlast 2 is a terrifying sequel that builds upon the scares of the 2013 original, even if its ambitious themes don't always land and navigating through its world can be frustratingly inconsistent. There's more wicked creativity at play here than I've seen in a horror game in a long time. Play it loud in the dark. And it looks like Game Informer gave it a 7.75. Saying, although Outlast 2 scares are phenomenal, its narrative struggles to remain cohesive and wraps up hastily. This affected my investment into the story, where my connection to the characters waned frequently. It has clever tricks up its sleeve, and while scary in the moment, their effectiveness suffers in the long run, especially when connecting various story points is difficult. Shock value is relied on constantly Shock value is relied on constantly, with overt religious themes portrayed in ways some could find carelessly offensive. Even if that doesn't bother you, these topics are often handled without nuance. And it looks like PC Gamer gave it an 85 out of 100, and Games Radar gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So, it looks like for the most part, if you were to average that all out, it's pretty much about from 7.5 out of 10 is kind of what it would pretty much average out to be, which is pretty much on par with what the first Outlast got, pretty much averaged around the same thing. So to me, it almost seems like it's kind of just more of the same kind of thing. I have heard that it is really similar to the first one in that you're not really armed with a lot of weapons or anything like that. You just have kind of like a camera. So to me, it seems like it's just pretty much more of the same, which can be a good thing because the first Outlast was known to be pretty good. So I'm definitely gonna have to try it out soon. Up next, we have some interesting news pertaining to Vivendi and Ubisoft. There's been rumors going around the industry for a little while now that Vivendi might pursue a hostile takeover of Ubisoft, and some news came out on GameSpot earlier today, saying Vivendi will reportedly pursue a Ubisoft takeover this year. Things may come to a head in 2017. Ubisoft may be faced with a hostile takeover attempt before the end of the year. Reuters reports that in the midst of declining share prices and consternation among investors who are unsure of the company's direction, Vivendi will become more aggressive with acquisitions this year. The French media conglomerate has its eyes on more than just elements of the games industry, but Ubisoft is said to be one of its first targets, along with Havas, an advertising company it already owns 60% of. Speaking about Ubisoft and Havas, a source told Reuters, quote, "Vivendi is moving to the second phase. Everything will take place this year," end quote. Another source said that while Vivendi would have a limit on how much it would be willing to spend, the logical thing would be to buy Ubisoft. A Vivendi shareholder meeting today saw Chairman Vincent Bolloré re-elected to the board despite calls from some for investors to oppose the move. It's no secret that Vivendi has been targeting Ubisoft for some time. It slowly acquired more and more shares of the game publisher. In December, it reached the 25% mark. At 30%, French law would mandate that it pursue a controlling stake in the company. In April of last year, Vivendi claimed it had excuse me. In April of last year, Vivendi claimed that it had no plans for a takeover of Ubisoft. To date, Vivendi has not sought representation on Ubisoft's board of directors, which seemed like a possibility ahead of a Ubisoft shareholder meeting last September. Ubisoft and its CEO have expressed their vehement opposition to Vivendi's maneuvering, and Guillemot, Ubisoft CEO, has suggested a takeover would cost Ubisoft its agility and ability to take risks. Vivendi, which once owned Activision, acquired the mobile game developer Gameloft last year. The company was founded by Michel Guillemot, the brother of Yves Guillemot, however you pronounce their names. Will continue to report back as the situation develops. So, as I said before, and as it was mentioned in here, Vivendi has been targeting Ubisoft for some time, and it looks like that the word around the industry is that that if it's going to happen, it will happen this year, and it really makes you wonder and worry with Ubisoft owning so many huge franchises, what the future of those franchises would be in the event that Vivendi does this hostile takeover of Ubisoft. So we'll have to see what the future holds for them. And lastly, on this week's episode, Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty World War II, the special edition has been leaked, and the Pro Edition has been revealed. Because every detail of this year's Call of Duty apparently has to be leaked before it's officially announced, we've now learned the reported details of Call of Duty World War II's Special Edition. It's dubbed the Pro Edition, according to marketing materials from GameStop shared on Twitter by user Bernie Highroller. The image shows that this version comes with the game itself, a steelbook case, and a season pass, our first confirmation that World War II will have one as expected. It also prominently advertises that the previously leaked beta will be available on PS4 first. Pre-ordering the game guarantees you beta access. Activision confirmed Call of Duty World War II last week, but so far it's only officially shared a name and an image. Additional details have since been revealed through leaks, including low-res in-game screenshots, a November release date, and the existence of a co-op mode. A reveal livestream is scheduled for tomorrow, April 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, where we'll learn more official details. So it looks like we'll have to wait till tomorrow to get any more details. But I did hear somewhere as well that, as it said in here, that there has been a co-op mode. News of a co-op mode has been leaked. And I also heard somewhere that, of course, there is also most likely going to be a zombies mode in the next Call of Duty as well, which is pretty much a given. Obviously, I mean, they have pretty much all of them now. And as we found out on this, that there will also be a season pass with the next Call of Duty as well, which is pretty much another given thing with Call of Duty as well. So. Looks like we'll have to wait until tomorrow to get any more news about Call of Duty World War II and to get an official first look at it as well. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of SportsNerdWeb Weekly. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. Sub to the channel for more content, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.